Fleet Commander Zix Thara's four sensory stalks trembled uncontrollably as she stared at the tactical display aboard the Cytherian battlecruiser Eternal Vigilance. What she was seeing defied every principle of physics her civilization had discovered over 3 millennia of spacefaring existence. Sensor Chief K. Dal, she wheezed through her breathing apparatus, confirmed the readings. This cannot be accurate. The insectoid officer's mandibles clicked nervously as he ran the scans for the 7th time. Commander, all instruments confirm. The human vessel. It's there, but it's also not there. 3 hours earlier, the Eternal Vigilance had been conducting routine border patrol along the disputed neutral zone when their long-range sensors detected an anomalous energy signature. Protocol demanded investigation. The Cytherians had been at war with the hegemony for 40 standard years, and any unknown vessel could be an enemy infiltrator. But this was no hegemony ship. Lieutenant Velanos, the ship's Xena specialist, had identified the vessel as human origin within minutes of visual contact. The sleek, predatory design was unmistakable humanity's distinctive aesthetic of function over form, every line and surface optimized for maximum lethality. What terrified the Cytherian crew wasn't the ship's appearance. It was what their sensors couldn't detect. Mass readings are inconsistent, Sensor Chief K. Dal reported, his voice betraying the fear that gripped the entire bridge. The vessel appears to have negative mass in certain sections, positive in others. The gravitational field is impossible. Commander Zix Thara had served in the Cytherian Deep Space Fleet for 60 years. She had witnessed the devastating power of antimatter torpedoes, survived direct hits from plasma cannons that could vaporize asteroids, and commanded vessels through the reality warping effects of hyperspace storms. Nothing in her experience had prepared her for this. The human warship, designated HSS Wrathful Spirit, according to their translation protocols, existed in a state of quantum flux that should have torn it apart at the molecular level. Sections of its hull phased in and out of normal space-time, creating overlapping dimensional fields that made targeting impossible. Commander, Communications Officer Thisara announced, her bioluminescent patches flickering with agitation. The humans are responding to our presence. The main screen activated, revealing Captain Maria Santos of the Terran Navy. Her expression was calm, almost bored, as if being discovered by alien forces was a minor inconvenience rather than a potential diplomatic incident. Cytherian vessel, this is Captain Santos of the Terran Deep Strike Force. You are observing a classified military exercise. Recommend you withdraw to minimum safe distance of 50,000 kilometers. 50,000 kilometers. The number sent chills through every member of the bridge crew. Cytherian weapons had effective ranges of barely 5,000 kilometers. What kind of arsenal required a safety perimeter 10 times larger than their maximum engagement distance? Captain Santos, Commander Zix Thara replied, struggling to keep her voice steady. This is Fleet Commander Zix Thara of the Cytherian Republic. You are operating in neutral space. We request information regarding your vessel's unusual energy signature. Captain Santos smiled an expression that somehow managed to be more terrifying than any alien threat display. I'm afraid that information is classified, Commander. But since you're here, you might want to observe from a safe distance. We're about to conduct a weapons test. The communication ended before Zix Thara could respond. Around her, the bridge crew exchanged glances of mounting dread. In 3 millennia of galactic civilization, weapons tests were conducted in empty systems, far from any observers. The fact that humans were willing to demonstrate their capabilities in front of potential enemies suggested either supreme confidence or complete insanity. Helmsman, move us to 50,000 kilometers, Zix Thara ordered. All sensors on maximum range. Record everything. the wrathful spirit began to change. The quantum fluctuations surrounding its hull intensified, and space itself seemed to bend around the vessel. Energy readings spiked beyond the Eternal Vigilance's ability to measure accurately. "Commander, Sensor Chief K." Dal's voice was barely a whisper. "They're charging what appears to be a reality alteration weapon. The energy signature is, it's rewriting local spacetime. At exactly 50,000 kilometers, the Eternal Vigilance felt the first effects. Gravity fluctuated wildly, causing the crew's inner fluids to slosh uncomfortably. The ship's artificial gravity generators screamed in protest as they fought to compensate for forces that shouldn't exist. Then the human vessel fired. What emerged from the wrathful spirit wasn't a conventional energy beam or projectile. It was a cascade of restructured reality, a cone of spacetime where the fundamental constants of physics had been altered. Within that field, matter behaved according to different rules. Energy followed impossible paths, and causality itself became negotiable. The target, a small asteroid designated for the test, didn't explode or vaporize. It simply ceased to exist in any meaningful sense, its atoms scattered across multiple dimensions simultaneously. Where the asteroid had been, space remained twisted, creating a permanent scar in reality that would warn other species of human capabilities for millennia to come. "By the sacred spawning pools," Lieutenant Velanos gasped. "They've weaponized dimensional mathematics." The implications hit the bridge crew like a physical blow. Every major galactic civilization had theoretical knowledge of dimensional manipulation. The physics were well understood, the mathematics elegantly simple, but the energy requirements were astronomical. Whole star systems would need to be harnessed to power such weapons. Humanity, apparently, had solved that problem. "Commander," Communications Officer Thyssera reported, her bioluminescent patches now strobing in rapid panic patterns. "Incoming message from Kytherian High Command. They're ordering immediate withdrawal from this sector." The order had arrived faster than light-speed communication should have allowed, which meant Kytherian intelligence had been monitoring the situation through quantum-entangled surveillance networks, and the sight of human weapons technology had triggered the highest level of military alert. As the Eternal Vigilance turned away from the human vessel, Commander Zix Thara made a decision that would haunt her for the rest of her days. She activated the ship's emergency beacon, a signal that would alert every major galactic power to humanity's demonstration. Within hours, the galaxy would know that humans possessed weapons that could rewrite the laws of physics. The delicate balance of power that had maintained galactic peace for centuries would crumble, replaced by the terrifying knowledge that one species had gained the ability to alter reality itself. Captain Santos watched the alien vessel retreat, then activated her secure communication channel to Earth Command. "Mission accomplished, Admiral," she reported. "The demonstration was effective. Expect significant changes in galactic diplomatic patterns within the next standard week." The wrathful spirit phased back into normal space-time, its impossible weapons powering down. Around it, the twisted space where the asteroid had been continued to pulse with otherworldly energy, a permanent reminder that humanity had moved beyond the conventional limits of warfare. The age of human intimidation had begun.